Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome to the Analyst in the Armchair. I'm Michelle. I'm the analyst part of the show. This is Nycole. She is the armchair part of the show. And we have so much NFL news to get to. I will say this week has been deadly for me with free agency.
Yes. I was going to say, how are you holding up? Are you sleeping? Are you just everything football? Have you eaten?
I have eaten just fine. I don't forget to eat.
Okay.
That takes a lot, but I have been very, very, very busy.
Yeah.
The NFL season gets crazy around this time. We got free agency, then a little bit of a break, and then the draft. But I love free agency.
Do you?
I really, really do. I know it's not your thing.
I know, but I do feel like you thrive in that, like all the possibilities and all the, different people moving everywhere.
Like
and
I said, I want to be a GM. I want to be a general manager. And I mean, I don't actually.
No, right.
I want to be one without any of the consequences. I also want the money.
Well, don't we want all of that in
Yes.
all of life?
Yes.
I will take the money and the notoriety and nothing else.
No, I would love to do it besides the fact that I just would have to build up this insane resume. And I'm already 34, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yes, you're very old.
I think I missed my opportunity.
It's too late. Has there ever been a
Woman GM?
female GM?
No, not in the NFL.
Go figure. So,
I mean, just to get some like assistant coaches is pretty hard. So,
wasn't there like one?
There's a couple. There's a few. There's a few assistant coaches across the league.
That's what I thought. But well, anyway, that's a Debbie Downer note. Yeah. I mean, I've been following it pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
The money stuff is just like there's a lot of pieces that are moving.
When you have $302 million to give away each year per team, I mean, you're giving away billions of dollars.
Right.
So far in free agency, it's been 2 days in the tampering period, and it's already like $2 billion have been spent across contracts.
And see, my brain, like numbers like that, I can't compute.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to fathom 2 billion of anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then like there are like 7 billion people on the planet. And I'm like, I feel like Houston is pretty big, but it's like tiny compared to the world, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of money on a game.
It is a lot of money. And we're going to talk about all these guys who made a lot of money. We are happy for them. We are not bitter. Slightly bitter. No, I'm just kidding. We're happy for them. It's great. Some teams overpaid though for certain guys to get them into their franchise. And some teams got steals in terms of football contracts. So we're going to get into all of that. Our favorite signings, our least favorite signings. We're going to start that right now.
The opening drive.
All right, we'll start on a positive note. We're going to give our favorite free agency signing / trade, which I get it. A trade's not technically free agency, but it happened around the same time. So we'll include it all. I will say my favorite signing so far is linebacker Devin Lloyd going to the Panthers. I didn't realize what an amazing deal it was. Like when I saw it, I'm like, okay, cool. They're like loading up, they're doing a good job trying to build around Bryce Young and all that and make sure the team that made the playoffs last year can keep going.
Right.
But 3 years, $45 million. Like I get he's a middle linebacker and they don't make a ton, but $15 million a year, I think is a steal for Devin Lloyd, who ranked 3rd among all linebackers last year in PFF overall grade, 11th in run defensive grade, 5th in pass rush grade, and 3rd in coverage grade. I think that coverage grade is key there with the middle linebackers. If you can find a guy that you can trust to cover tight ends or slot wide receivers over the middle, that's huge. And they got him for such a nice deal. We'll talk about Jalen Phillips, who they also signed to a massive contract later. But I thought that was a steal. And then I have to also add in my Steelers. I am being a homer, I guess, slightly, but I loved Jamel Dean. I was like, any team should be happy to have him. And they signed him for 3 years, $36 million.
Yeah.
Only, $12 million a year?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Like he was one of the best corners in the league last year, if not the best, at shutting down wide receivers. So thrilled to have him as a Steeler. I think they got a steal there. So those are my 2 favorites.
Okay. Well, you cheated. So
Yeah, I cheated
it was
a
your
little bit.
favorite.
Yeah.
So that's like when I asked my niece or nephew, like, what's your favorite color? And they say the rainbow. And it's like, that doesn't
How smart. No,
count.
they're just brilliant.
Oh yeah, well, probably. They are related to me after all. Okay, I'm gonna go with one that happened relatively early, but I think everyone was like, whoa, that's a big deal, especially Steelers fans. It's Maxx Crosby to the Ravens. No player on the Ravens last year had more than 5 sacks. The team had 30 total. That was third worst.
Yes.
Worst in the NFL. That is a problem for that division. It's not good for you as a Steelers fan, for anybody on the Bengals, and the Browns are always terrible, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, I think that was definitely not my favorite, like personally, but my favorite as far as like a big name going to a big team. And it'll be really interesting with the new coach in Baltimore and to see how it all comes together.
We're going to go through all the biggest free agency signings, the ones, well, I'm going to give them a grade. As the analyst, I'm going to grade them out just for fun. You can hate me for my grades, whatever. These are my opinions. She's going to give her opinion as the armchair on what she thinks about these signings, and we're going to have a good old time.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Between the 20s.
Let's start with the Super Bowl MVP, running back, Kenneth Walker III. Dude made him some money by going off in the playoffs and then obviously having the MVP type of game in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. He made his money, $14 million a year, 3 years, $43 million with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
Which, to be fair, I did think the Seahawks would at least franchise tag him or try to get him back because of the whole Zach Charbonnet torn ACL in the playoffs.
Right.
They don't have a starting running back right now.
I don't know what they're doing in Seattle.
Yeah. Maybe they have a plan to draft a guy, sign a guy. I don't know. Maybe they're trading for a guy. I don't know. But right now, Kenneth Walker is gone. Zach Charbonnet is going to be, I cannot imagine he's back in the first 5 weeks of the season. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine so either. I also saw a funny clip of when the Seahawks won. I think it was their owner that was like, he made some comment about, Kenneth was talking to me about his contract already in the first 5 minutes. And I was like, and it was obviously like a clip, trolling them because he was like, bye. Yeah. I said last week, I thought the Chiefs' best option for running back was ET over Walker.
Yeah.
Now they went with Walker, so we're going to see. But yeah, I think he deserves it as far as the last half or chunk of last year and all of the playoffs. So we'll see if it works out for the Chiefs and he can live up to the hype that I think he needs to, because this Kansas City fan base is coming off a year of disappointment. And so I think there's a lot of expectation for him. And so we're going to have to see what he can do.
Yeah. The Chiefs, they've been struggling in the rushing offense for sure. I'll give the two sides. All right. So the Chiefs over the last 2 seasons, they've averaged just 106 rushing yards per game, 27th in the NFL. Yards per carry only at 4.1, 28th in the NFL. Their carries per game are low, and their efficiency has been just terrible overall with long runs, right? Last year, they only had 3 carries of 20-plus yards. Kenneth Walker by himself had 10, I think, or something like that. I don't have it exactly down, but he will bring explosiveness to the offense, which is very good. Overall, over the last 2 years, the Chiefs have averaged just 3.7 yards per carry. Chiefs running backs, I should say.
I was going to say, because that's not true of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's just Chiefs running back. So it's been Mahomes. There's so many games where it's like, well, Mahomes is the leading running back, the leading rusher for this team.
Well, and I'm worried that can he default back to, I have a running back, let him do the work. I don't know if he will and can.
And I don't even know if that's necessary. It's just they cannot always be leaning on Mahomes to be the only one that can get rushing yards.
Right.
Mahomes keep getting your 30, 40 rushing yards. That's fine, but you can't have your running back be getting 25, Right. So Kenneth Walker, but the issue with Kenneth Walker, and always has been, he dances a lot behind the line. So always his missed tackles are so high, but it's like you're letting guys get to you. Like he dances a lot. He will lose a lot of yards. That's what he's going to do. And then he'll have some big runs. Now, I always said this about Saquon Barkley, though, with the Giants. And he had, a year or two good with the Giants. He had injuries like Kenneth Walker has had. And then Saquon Barkley goes behind a line that was amazing with the Eagles in 2024. Did great. 2025, meh again, right? So it depends on how good it always depends on how good your line can be for how good a running back is going to be. I do think the Chiefs can have a pretty solid offensive line for Kenneth Walker. I do think they overpaid him though for his production. I mean, like there's something about the Seahawks not wanting to feed him all year long. Something about that he can't stay healthy in most years. Like this last year was his healthiest by far.
Right.
And there's something about the Seahawks being like, thanks for winning MVP, but bye.
Right.
I mean, it's not an outrageous contract. It's $14 million a year. So I'm going to give the signing a B-. I think the Chiefs have way more bigger needs than just running back.
Mhm.
I think it'll help them slightly, but you let your whole secondary go and then sign a running back. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. We'll see with this one. Like I said, I probably would have gone with somebody a little more consistent like ETN, but we're going to see.
Yeah. I do think
Are
you're
you
probably
laughing because I
you
like
love
ETN more.
Travis Etienne, yes.
Okay.
So I don't think many people would describe Travis Etienne as consistent, but I love how much you love him. It's very sweet.
It's sweet,
Yes.
huh? Okay. Well, I hope he balls out this year and
No,
is
he
the
will.
number one running back. And next year, you have to say, I'm sorry that I called you sweet.
No. I think the Travis Etienne signing is better. So we'll get to that. Travis Etienne to the Saints. Another shocker, like the Jaguars now. Who you gave away Tank Bigsby last year to the Eagles for basically free
Right.
to get, have Travis Etienne and Bashal Tutin as your two guys. Are you just going to lean on Bashal Tutin to be your now?
Surely not.
I know, right?
Surely not. But then who are they going after?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Again, I guess, but this draft is not filled with great running backs. I mean,
Right.
After Jeremiah Love, every analyst has running backs 2 through 6 at a different ranking because no one knows.
Right.
Like, it's not this stacked class. It's Jeremiah Love, and only one person can get him in the first round.
Right.
And do you want to spend a high draft pick on him? And the Jaguars nor Seahawks have one. I think he's going to be gone before either of them. So, anyways, they let Travis Etienne go. Travis Etienne's making $13 million a year. The big question about the Saints, Alvin Kamara. What do they do with him? Do you think they should cut him? Obviously, you try to trade him, but
you have to try to trade him. But he was okay. He was so bad last year.
he was
with a team that had nothing going for them.
We'll give him respect for being good for so long, but
so long.
Yeah.
But when I tell you that was my best move in fantasy ever, was to get rid of Alvin Kamara and somebody else, and potentially earn. I'm not going to say earn, even though that's probably not the right choice of words.
Wait, what did you trade last year? We need to get into this real quick. It was Alvin Kamara and DJ Moore. For Amon-Ra St. Brown.
For Amon-Ra.
Because my wife does not know how to play fantasy football.
Brown. Yes.
Even though it's slightly her job.
Kind of. Yeah, it was the best trade I've ever made in my whole life. Well, yeah, and I have a twin sister, so I've traded a lot of things. But that was my best trade ever.
I was so mad.
And yeah, so back to Alvin Kamara, back on track here. Thank you for all you've done. Right off into the sunset. You were horrible last year. You try to trade him, and then you cut him.
Yeah, I don't know who's trading for him because he's still making decent money. And I don't think anyone's dying for a 30-year-old running back who's fallen off in efficiency over the last few years, who can still be a good pass catcher, but maybe that's who the Seahawks go after. Maybe they do trade for him because they have Zach Charbonnet, who's coming back. They say, we just need you for a half a season, whatever.
True.
And then we can still use you for because Zach Charbonnet's not a pass catcher. So we'll still use you for pass catching chops and go from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do.
But I do think they have to move on from Alvin Kamara. Know that they signed ETN.
Yes.
They have to figure out that. I give this an A- signing for Travis Etienne. I like it. I think he has, like you said, he is more consistent than Kenneth Walker, I believe. And he has the same break. Like, he does not give the credit for the breakaway abilities that he has.
No, he doesn't.
Does have fumbling issues, but he has had 1,400 or more receiving yard or scrimmage yards in 3 of his 4 NFL seasons. And yes, I slightly lied there because one was 1,399. I don't care. He's a really good touchdown scorer. He can break away, and like, he's a good receiver. So I think he can do it all.
Yeah.
So I think the Saints kind of got their next Alvin Kamara, younger and cheaper than Alvin Kamara right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this was the right move by the Saints, especially with at the end of the season, Tyler Shook was kind of looking like a better quarterback. So, it'll
Kellen
be
Moore might have a little interesting offense this year.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see, how the Saints do this season.
It's going to come down to Tyler Shook. Can he take that step forward? But he did. I mean, he beat everyone's expectations year one. Kellen Moore's a good play caller.
To be fair, they were in the gutter.
Yeah, they were.
So,
they were.
There's that.
They were in the gutter. Now, they also signed to a big contract, actually bigger than Travis Etienne's, 4 years, $61 million. He was a big time starter for the Bills over the last 2 years, and that Bills' great offensive line started 32 games at left guard for the Bills over the last 2 seasons. So I think, like, doing both of these things together, you fix up your offensive line a little bit, you add your running back. I love those two together. I'm giving that an A- signing together.
Why isn't it an A+?
Because anytime you sign a free agent running back, it's like, it's a little hard. Because you're paying a lot of money for a running back when really it comes down to the offensive line mostly.
All right. I like it.
Unless your running back just really stinks and can't see anything.
Sure.
It has no vision and has no hands.
Those are 2 very bad things as a football player.
Yes. Getting to quarterbacks here. I mean, there's only been really 2 moves. We're not going to talk about Geno Smith to the Jets because why? Why?
No one cares.
No one cares. 7th round pick. This is where Geno Smith started, by the way. And it was terrible. And now he's back. Hilarious. But, the 2 big moves so far, Malik Willis to the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa to the Falcons. We do not have news yet on Kyler Murray. I'm sure it will come tomorrow. And I'm sorry, you're probably listening to this already knowing the news. And I would love to talk about it, but we don't know it yet. But let's start with Malik Willis to the Dolphins. 3 years, $68 million. It's actually not a crazy amount of money, but I don't really care about Malik Willis.
And it's so funny sometimes because, like, your opinions are so stark sometimes. And I get it, but I think he's fine.
Uh-huh.
I think, though, if you're the Dolphins, like, you let Tua go, which, to be fair, I mean, you're in a terrible spot money-wise. So,
but they're still in a terrible spot money-wise with Tua gone because they had to still pay him.
Because you still have to pay him.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, I never understood, like, going and getting somebody else and paying them as well at the same time to hope that they're good. I mean, I guess, but I mean, to be fair, this was probably their best option if they were going to go out and get a quarterback. I just don't see it. I don't feel like this is like a huge, wow, this is going to be so good for the Dolphins move.
I think this is what's happening right now in the NFL. They saw the Broncos move on from Russell Wilson after paying him all that money, eating all the dead cap. And then they hit on, I'm using quotations here, on Bo Nix. We don't know for sure yet. It's a hit. But, I mean, they've made the playoffs 2 years in a row, right? They made the AFC Championship this year. Bo Nix, it was definitely an upgrade to Russell Wilson where he was at. This is the thing, right? They had Sean Payton, who's a very, very, very good coach, a very good play caller, and they hit on Bo Nix. Fine. This reminds me a lot. So now teams are doing this. They're like, well, we can just eat all the money. We'll figure it out. We'll be better off, right?
Right.
This reminds me a lot of Josh Allen getting drafted. A huge project, very, very raw. I mean, it still took him till year 3 to break out. But now, what? This guy, we're going to take, he's raw. He could be the next Josh Allen. It's like, it keeps not happening. Like, it's a once in a 20-year thing.
Right.
And I think that's what people are doing with the quarterbacks, with moving on from Kyler Murray, from moving on from Tua. It's like, all right, well, you're going to need the luck that the Broncos had. And the Dolphins certainly didn't hire the head coach for it, and Jeff Hafley, the defense coordinator.
Right.
And Bobby Slowick's not fixing the offense. So I don't know. Malik Willis, I'm going to give this a C-. They needed a quarterback. They didn't overpay him. They're not going to be screwed in the future from paying him 3 years, $68 million. They needed someone. I do love Quinn. We both love Quinn Ewers for Texas Longhorns.
Yes, we do.
But in the NFL, he didn't look great.
Right.
And I don't think Malik Willis is going to look great here. I mean, we've now seen him with 2 teams. He only has 6 starts. 3 starts with the Titans, garbage. 3 starts with the Packers. 2 of them were good.
Mm-hmm.
But he has no one. Jalen Waddle the past 2.
Who plays every other game because he's hurt.
Well, every other snap, we should say. Because he plays every
snap.
game,
You're not
but
wrong.
he's out every other snap.
That's a better way to say that. Yeah.
Every time he catches the ball, he's hurt. So he has to go out for a little bit.
Well, and what are they going to do on offense?
And there's even rumors about Devin Achane could be traded.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
But if you're an Achane fantasy manager, either in Dynasty or Keeper League, you kind of want him to go because Malik Willis does not pass to running backs.
Yeah.
And the best part about Achane was the receptions. And Tua passed the running backs at the highest rate of any quarterback over the last 2 seasons.
Right.
By 4%.
Right.
So it was, I'm not like, we have Devin Achane and you guys made fun of me for keeping him last year.
No.
He was amazing. End of it. He was an amazing keeper. I'm not even thinking about keeping him this year with Malik Willis.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Never mind.
What
if he goes,
yeah,
which I think this is insane, to the Texans.
But why would they trade for David
I
Montgomery?
don't know. I don't understand.
But if the Jaguars...
I can't even talk about the Texans right now. That's where I'm wearing my Commander stuff because I'm so
What's really bad for you
stressed.
Is I think the Jaguars should trade for him, which you would not like.
Oh, no.
As a Texans fan, you would not like.
You're not wrong. That would be horrible for me.
But it would be so good for fantasy.
Because I think Devin Achane is the upgraded... this is going to sound crazy, but the upgraded version of Travis Etienne.
Well, yeah, he is. That's not crazy.
So I would hate that.
Yeah.
And they probably will do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody hates me.
But yeah, the Dolphins, I don't know what they're doing. I think Jeff Hafley is a 1 or 2 year head coach. They're just kind of using him up until they fall short. And
and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Need a fall guy, I guess.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa. He gets cut from the Dolphins, then immediately signs with the Falcons. 1-year deal, vet minimum, because it made no sense to ask your new team to pay any more. The Dolphins had to pay your whole salary. I like it. I'm giving this a B+. I think it's a good signing with Michael Penix Jr. coming off an ACL tear in the middle of last year.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good for Bijan, right?
So good.
Fantasy. For fantasy, right. And with the Falcons ending their year last year on this little run that was like, wait, why couldn't you have done this 4 weeks ago and then been in contention? It's interesting. I think Tua's garbage, so I don't think it's going to matter. But yeah, why not? Go play for somebody else. See if, a change of scenery helps you play football better and keep it moving.
I don't think it's going to be any worse than Michael Penix Jr. I really don't.
Right.
I think Tua is a fine quarterback. He does have the second highest completion percentage in NFL history in a career. He does lead the NFL in completion percentage since 2022. Last year was bad, for sure. But I think that I feel like we also are giving Mike McDaniel too much of a pass, just being like, Tua's bad, not you. Like, you're going to be great.
That's fair. That's fair.
I do just think overall, the Dolphins were a disaster of a team. Do I think Tua is a top 10 quarterback? Absolutely not. Do I think he can be top 15 to 20 in the league? Yeah. And I don't know if Michael Penix Jr. is that.
Right.
So when you're getting a 1-year vet minimum and you don't know who your quarterback would be to start the year, I think it's worth trying him out, seeing if he can fit in Kevin Stefanski's system. He has good pieces around him, Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, who Tua is obsessed with throwing to the running back. Bijan can do whatever he wants as a receiver. He's amazing.
Right.
So I think it's a good move. It's cost you nothing, and why not?
Well, and it'll be interesting to see the Falcons without Tyler Algier and how much more Bijan gets, especially in those red zone opportunities.
They both got 10 carries around the goal line last year, Algier and Bijan.
Oh man, it feels like Algier got 100 and Bijan got 4.
It's insane to split them. So to compare, CMC had 23 or something. Derrick Henry had 27. Josh Jacobs had 20. Javonte Williams had 20. Like give Bijan Robinson 20 goal line carries.
Yeah.
And he already is absolutely amazing for fantasy.
Yeah.
And then you give him Tua as a Bijan is the 101, guys. We'll do a fantasy show. We're obviously very excited about fantasy. We'll do them throughout the off season, but
1-1.
101. I know a lot of people are excited about Jahmyr Gibbs. Me too. He's the 102. Bijan's 101.
I'm not as excited about him.
That's fair. Alec Pierce. It was like the most balloon busted move ever.
100%. I was so excited after our last episode talking about the opportunities for him and where he could go, and he's so fun and all his yards. And then he stays in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And now I think this is a very good decision by the Colts, but they're in the Texans division. And so I think it's boring and they should have let him go.
See, no, I will root for the Texans, but I don't care like that. Who's with what? Like I just said, I want Devin Achane to go to the Jaguars. I think this Alec Pierce signing for 4 years, $114 million is them freaking out. And saying, we just need to do whatever we can to be competitive next year. And this worked last year, so we're going to do it. And we're going to transition tag Daniel Jones, even though he's coming off an Achilles tear. And Alec Pierce showed that he's such a good deep threat. We just need to pay him wide receiver 1 money, like you're a wide receiver 1 in the league, which he certainly has not been. I mean, it took him until last year. He's now headed into his 5th NFL season. It took him to last year to just finally get over 1,000 receiving yards. And it was 1,003. receiving yards. And you have 17 games now to do it. So that's not impressive. And to get paid that amount of money, $28 million a year, to be a wide receiver 1, when you had 48 or 47 or something receptions like that, yes, you're a big time threat. You can be down deep. But then they trade away Michael Pittman. Defenses now can just be like, okay, let's just cover deep.
Right.
I think it was a massive overpay by Indy. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm giving the signing a C.
See, I like the idea of him staying in Indy. I do agree with you. It was too much money. And especially with getting rid of Michael Pittman Jr., it's like, well, what are you going to do on the other side of the field?
Yeah. Because he's going to take away
because to me,
defenses.
It's like the Steelers last year. Okay, fine. You have DK Metcalf. But when DK Metcalf can't catch the ball, A, because he has butter hands, and B, because
I'm rolling my eyes here.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing him the ball. When you don't have somebody on the other side to balance the field, you don't get what you're hoping for from that wide receiver.
What's also is wild is that Alec Pierce last year, he had 6 touchdowns. Cool. 4 of those came after Daniel Jones got hurt. 4 out of the 6.
Oh. He and Phillip Rivers were just locked in, I guess.
Riley Leonard.
Oh, yes.
I don't know which ones he caught him from, but he actually averaged more yards per reception without Daniel Jones than with Jones. Now, both are insane numbers, so that doesn't really matter. But he averaged, it was 2 receiving touchdowns from weeks 1 through 13 with Daniel Jones, 4 in those last 5 weeks without him. So, 1,003 yards one time, and the other year is 593, 514, 824. And to say he gets $28 million a year, is just absurd to me.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what the numbers were for Wan'Dale Robinson.
They were high,
but those were high. And then Juwan Jennings hasn't been signed yet. So it'll be interesting, just given our conversation last week, watching those 3 guys, and we were like, they're going to be overpaid, but to watch them this year and kind of track who lived up to how much they got paid and who didn't.
Raiders have backed out of what? Raiders have backed out of the Maxx Crosby trade.
I told you people back out of things. I knew it. I told you people do this. We were just talking earlier today about well, if it can't be official until Wednesday at 4, why are we talking about it? And you're like, oh, that only happens once every 10 years. And it's the Ravens backing out?
No, it's the Raiders.
Oh, Raiders.
The Raiders are saying no.
You read it Ravens, but
the Raiders.
I think you're so hyped you can't even read.
No, the Ravens have backed out. I am so hyped. The Ravens have backed out of the trade. So now the Raiders just have to bring back Maxx Crosby. Like, hey. Hey.
Oh, no.
The Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement for Maxx Crosby.
Okay, what do we think this means? First of all, that's bananas because I just said it was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a while ago, but still. What does this mean?
I feel like
what are they doing? I need your live reaction right now.
I'm so confused because I thought it said the Raiders backed out, and I was like, okay, so they clearly are happy with all the signings they made, and they're like, no,
so they're
dude,
trying to,
they're trying to keep them and saying, no, we're trying here, we're gonna keep trying.
But also,
now the Ravens backed out. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I guess they got scared about how much they're paying.
But let me ask you. Does that mean the Raiders can't do some of their trades because of the money they've already allotted out?
They spent a lot of money, but they still had a lot of money in cap space.
Okay.
So it'll be okay. They'll figure it out. But I have no idea what this means. I've actually never seen this where a trade. There's been times where people like in free agency in the tampering period, they'll agree to a signing or whatever. It'll be normally a lower name and they're like, no, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Like this just happened. I said one every time. It happens, but normally with lower names that we weren't going to talk about anyways.
Sure.
Like last year, I think it was Eric Kendricks or 2 years ago for the 49ers. And then he went to Dallas, like whatever. Okay. A trade like this that was so massive. And then for the Ravens to back out right the day before.
Okay. How is your reaction as a Steelers fan?
I mean, I'm really happy he's not going to be in the division. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking about how it doesn't, like, for a lot of teams, I'd be like, this is crazy to pay this amount and all that. But for the Ravens, it made sense.
Right.
I don't know what's happening. I'm shocked.
It's kind of exciting.
I know.
I wish it was like this dramatic. Like it's a little too, like, oh, this team's going to take this, like the draft, for example. Mm-hmm. I think the draft, you should find out, like the first team in the order, you should find out 10 minutes before. Because how much more exciting would it be for the Raiders to have 10 minutes to decide what they're going to do versus like months?
Oh, you're saying you shouldn't find out if you have the first overall pick until...
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
How much more fun would that be?
No, the draft is already a blast. No, this is crazy. I don't know. I've never seen something like this.
Okay. Well, we will be following it all night / week long to figure out, what's happening and where he's going to go, if anywhere.
I mean, he's going to go back to the Raiders right now. So he's
that's
there.
What I mean. Like, is he going to go somewhere else?
Yeah. I wonder if another team is going to call him back. I'll give you exactly what the Ravens offered. Because now they know what the price
They have
is.
to.
Now they know exactly what the price
is.
If
fun game here. Okay. If your live reaction, you don't have time to think about it, Maxx Crosby right now.
I think the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was just a quick reaction.
Sure. All right. Think about it for 3 seconds. 3. NFC, AFC, all the division.
Maybe the Titans.
Okay. The Titans. Huh. Maybe.
But again, I think that would be a bad decision because they have so many needs.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of teams with a lot of money right now.
What about? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know about money and all the things. The Lions.
I know. It's like, do they want to pay Aiden Hutchinson and Maxx Crosby?
Because we've talked about it. If anybody has listened, we have said, and I said, the biggest need, the Lions need somebody across from Aiden Hutchinson. That would be wild. If that happens, I called it.
I think he's going to go to the Rams. And as a 49ers fan, I'm not going to like it. He's going to be a Ram.
Really?
They already have a stacked defensive line, but they're not paying any of them a lot of money because they're all on rookie contracts. So
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to go to the Rams. And I'm going to hate it.
Okay.
But at least he's not a Raven. I hate the Ravens more than the Rams.
Sure. So. Okay. So really, Rams, I would like Lions and Chargers.
That's wild. That's wild. Anyways, moving on with these free agents. We already talked about Jamel Dean going to the Steelers. I love their Michael Pittman trade as well. They desperately needed another wide receiver to go with DK Metcalf. They only had to swap 6th and 7th round picks. They signed him to extension, sure, but it's less than it's about $20 million a year. Mm-hmm. Super cheap for a wide receiver right now. And you have 2 big body guys. And the only Colts fans are so sad about losing Michael Pittman Jr.
Sure.
Love that. He's a culture guy. Love him.
I guess the thing that for me I don't love about this is like, sure, you're going to go get two guys of the same stature to play across from each other, fine. But I feel like you need the quick slot guy for the Steelers. Why didn't you go get Wandale?
No. So would you be surprised to hear that I'm going to name these guys for the most receptions in the NFL since 2022 among wide receivers? All right.
Okay.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're like, duh.
Obviously.
Jamar Chase. Duh.
Obviously.
CeeDee Lamb. Cool.
Obviously.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman is next among that group.
Since 2022.
The most receptions in the league. He is a possession wide receiver guy. Like no one gives him the credit for that.
Sure, he's not known for that for sure.
He's not, but he has the 5th most receptions among all wide receivers.
But you think he's going to go and play with Diva DK and Diva Rogers and like it?
I think he's a very...
Also, Diva DK is amazing.
It's a really good one.
I need somebody to send me a t-shirt that has DK Metcalf's face and it says Diva DK.
I think he's a very down-to-earth guy, and I think it'll be completely fine.
But that's what I'm saying. You think he, as a down-to-earth guy, will jive with those?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Right.
But at least DK. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers.
Yuck.
We got to get to the
Who
biggest...
may or may not be a Steeler.
Yeah, we don't even know if he's going to be a Steeler.
Yuck.
We don't know who the Steelers quarterback is going to be, but I'm going to guess Aaron Rodgers. I hope Kyler Murray.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God, it'd be so great.
Sorry.
All right, biggest wide receiver signing of the week, Mike Evans. Well, I guess not really. It was Alec Pierce, but the biggest name, Mike Evans to the 49ers. It's a 3-year deal, but really it's a 1-year deal when you get into it with the guarantees and stuff. I'm giving this a solid B. Yeah, Mike Evans is going to be 33 years old in August. But this was his first year last year that he didn't have at least 1,000 receiving yards. It's also like he's had at least 11 receiving touchdowns in 4 of the last 6 years, including 2 of the last 3 years where he was hurt. Well, also like he played through some injuries. He played 8 games. The numbers were not great, but he was playing hurt, came back. I just think he still has something in him. And with the touchdowns, what he can offer to Brock Purdy, I think it's a great addition. And the numbers seem bigger than they are. They're not.
Sure. I don't love this. I like it. I don't love it. I know. Who would I be if I wasn't hating on something that you like? Here's the thing. He is older. I don't love that. I think with the injuries last year, which granted the hamstring sprain, I believe, and then the broken clavicle, that was kind of like I don't want to say like a random thing, but it wasn't like an ACL or some of these bigger things that people get. I wish they would have tried to trade for somebody a little younger, because the thing about the 49ers right now is you have your touchdown guys. You have CMC. You have George Kittle. Like you have people to throw the ball in the end zone. So you even have Brock Purdy who could run it in, right? So to me, you don't need an end zone guy. So why not go and get the guy that can get you 7-8 yards each reception?
Well, 7-8 yards would be garbage. But
I just mean like the consistency of that.
They do need touchdown guys. DeJuan Jennings was their top wide receiver.
That's because he was the only one that wasn't hurt. And my thing is, Mike Evans is, I think, going to start this trajectory of like these little hurts here and there. And if I'm the 49ers, I'm not trying to gamble with old people trying to get hurt more.
I think it's fine. And speaking of hurt, we got an update on this Maxx Crosby stuff. It says from Ian Rappaport, it is a medical reason per Mike Garafolo. So Ian Rappaport per Mike Garafolo. And trades are contingent on upon a physical.
Okay.
So I guess there's a medical reason.
Well, that is bad for Maxx Crosby.
Yeah.
For that to be out and about.
Unless they're just using it to get out because they're like, we spent too much.
And maybe so.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be a lot of thoughts on that the next few hours.
Moving on. Tyler Linderbaum, center. We're going to talk about him because he got a massive contract from the Raiders. 3 years, $81 million. That is $27 million per year. That is $9 million more per year than any other center ever in NFL history. So second most was Creed Humphrey, who right now with the Chiefs at $18 million a year. Tyler Linderbaum at $27 million. So he didn't just reset the market, he destroyed the market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm giving it a C. I think he's a really good center. I think he's a really good addition to the Raiders. Am I really excited for this for Ashton Genty to them upgrade this line for fantasy? Absolutely, right? And they get Colton Miller back at left tackle. He missed a big part of the season. He's an all-pro tackle. You get Jackson Powers-Johnson back, who missed a chunk of time last year at guard. Like, your offensive line is definitely going to be better next year with Tyler Linderbaum.
Right.
He's going to make your team better. But there's a lot of centers that could have made your team better. Like, you had garbage centers last year.
Right.
Spending $9 million more, 50% more on a center, anyone else. It's a lot. I'm going to give it a C.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do think he's a great fit for the team. As you said, I think it opens up so many opportunities for Ashton Genty that he just did not have last year. And that's why he was such a, in my opinion, bust. But you're exactly right. They overpaid. Could you have went and gotten somebody that was good, not bad, like who you had, for less money and seeing how it worked out, right? So, and I just think he could have gone somewhere else a little more fun.
Well, clearly, I mean, I'm sure he wanted to go somewhere else, but then once the Raiders say, we're going to give you $27 million a year,
sure,
I'm sure no one else, I mean, even if he made $21 million a year, it would have been a massive upgrade to any other center in the league.
Yes.
So I'm sure other teams were not trying to spend that.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, I mean, with all that's happening with the Raiders right now, what they do.
We have two defenders we're going to go through because Trey Hendrickson didn't sign yet. There's not a lot of huge names. We already talked about Devin Lloyd and Jamal Dean that I love for the Panthers and the Steelers, but the Panthers made another huge signing, 4-year, $120 million deal for Jalen Phillips, $30 million a year. That's to go with their Devin Lloyd signing that I loved. But I actually think this Phillips signing is good too. I'm going to give this an A- with that Lloyd signing being an A+. So love these two together. Jalen Phillips was traded from the Dolphins to the Eagles in the middle of last year. Eagles defense improved so much once he got there. Mm-hmm. He led the team in quarterback pressures from week 10 on once he got to the Eagles. And the thing is, like, if you just look at his overall stats, they're not amazing, but he dealt with some serious injuries before this. So with the Dolphins, he tore his Achilles in 2023, and then he tore his ACL in 2024. Yeah. So 2 massive injuries, but he did not miss a game then in 2025. So he proved he can come back and stay healthy, and then he proved he can be productive off of those. And he should only get better further away from his injuries. He's now only turning 27 years old. Last year, he had the 5th most quarterback hurries among all players last season, and is behind really amazing guys: Will Anderson, Josh Hines-Allen, Aiden Hutchinson, Danielle Hunter. 2 of those guys being Texans. You can cheers. But I think this is a good signing. Yeah, it was expensive, but the Panthers are loading up. They can load them up with Derek Brown now in the interior defensive line. They got Devin Lloyd, middle linebacker. I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think this shows their desire to continue to be the top of the division.
I'm happy they're not like, we won the division, so we're going to say put like at 8 and 9. It's like that. You weren't good. You weren't good. You just happened to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think that for now, I mean, they're the front runner for the division easily, depending on what happens with the Falcons.
See, I think the Falcons are, but not easily.
Again,
I actually don't think it's easy. Because I think the Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers are kind of all even right now with what they're doing.
But the difference to me is that all those other teams in the division are making some pretty big changes. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like while the Panthers are making changes, they're adding depth to a solid core that they already have. Whereas these other teams are making pretty big changes, running backs, wide receivers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's really fair that they already were. They're building, and now they just keep building, right? Instead of the other teams trying to like rebuild, basically.
Exactly.
I think that's very fair. Now, lastly, here, your team, the Commanders, they added an edge rusher, Odafe Oweh, 4-year, $100 million, $25 million per year. I'm so sorry to tell you, but I hate it. I hate it.
For what reason?
I'm going to give it a C because do they need edge rushers? Do they need defensive players? Absolutely. But he was a first-round pick back in 2021. He's done very little in his career in terms of game-changing moments or sacks or anything like that. Last year, the Ravens were like, okay, we're fine to trade you. We don't really want you anymore. They trade him to the Chargers, right? He had 0 sacks with the Ravens until they 0 sacks last year with the Ravens until they traded him. Then he goes to the Chargers. He has 7.5 sacks. Great, right? Career year, all that in his time there. But tell me why then, because $25 million is a lot, but it's not outrageous. It's not outrageous. Why did the Ravens say goodbye to him and be fine moving on for him? And then why did the Chargers, after him having 7.5 sacks with them last year, from week 6 through 18, just say bye? We don't need you anymore.
Sure.
Because they re-signed Khalil Mack, who's 900 years old. Why not Owe, right? Especially, it's not an outrageous signing. Mm-hmm. It is outrageous in terms of his production, but it's not an outrageous signing if you truly believe he's something. So why are 2 teams letting him go? Mm-hmm. And then also Jesse Minter is now the Ravens head coach, right? Where Owe had the great production with the Chargers because he was the DC for them.
Right.
Why are the Ravens not like, Owe, come here, like come sign with us? Now, maybe you could say it's because of Maxx Crosby.
I was just going to say.
Now they backed out. I'm just saying Jesse Minter doesn't care about re-signing him. 2 teams don't care about re-signing him. I don't think he's going to change anything for the Commanders. I think he could be a fine addition to a good defensive line. But when he's going to be your top paid guy and you're going to expect him to be the top producer, no, I think it's a terrible signing.
Well, I disagree with you.
You disagree because you're a Commanders fan.
Well, and I mean, they desperately need a young pass rusher. Mm-hmm. Like, I just think like he still has more to prove and more to give. I think that the Commanders, I mean, they could really use him as a centerpiece. And I know you hate that because you're questioning why are these teams letting him go, but they get him for the edge. They signed Tim Settle Jr. And I know, I just think you think people are so bad. And
I don't think he's so bad. I just think he's just a guy. There's a lot.
Anyway.
When I think a guy is bad, I am saying they're just a guy and they're easily replaceable. And that is Tim Settle. Also, Owe.
Can I finish my thought? Okay. Tim Settle comes from Houston, which I was sad about, but I think it's a good move for the Commanders. Then they go get Meek Robertson
mm-hmm.
from the Lions for a cornerback, right? And so I'm happy with that choice. So they're trying to add some pieces here on defense because their defense was atrocious last year. And then they go and re-sign Wise Jr. and Shy Tuttle, which, okay, like, fine, whatever. But I think they're looking at it holistically of like, okay, let's get a guy over there and let's get a guy over here and let's get a guy over here so that, yeah, sure, Owe might not be the number one guy, but can he be a really solid piece in a more balanced defense?
But he's not going to be in a balanced defense.
Well, we don't know that
balanced
yet.
Defense with the Ravens and with the Chargers.
Well, listen, I don't know why these people let him go.
He was already in a balanced defense with a lot of help, and he couldn't do it then. I mean, he was fine, but not great.
But you're the same person that thinks edge rushers are way overhyped.
Yeah,
on defenses.
When you're overpaying them to be your main guy, they don't change anything. If you have,
do you think they're overpaying him?
Yes, $25 million a year is an overpay for a day. O'Day.
Oh my God! For who now? That's what you get.
Odafe Owe.
There you go. Yeah, I think it's not a crazy amount of money for what they need.
It's not a crazy amount of money.
You just said he's getting overpaid.
He is getting overpaid.
Pick a stance.
But I'm saying it's not such a crazy amount of money that if his former team thought he was going to break out, they wouldn't pay it. If his former teams and his coaches don't think he's worth $25 million a year, that means they do not think he's on the verge of a breakout. So another team paying him that and expecting a verge of a breakout is silly when all these coaches are saying, yeah, no, he's just a guy.
Yeah, but don't you think, I think it also comes down to like the culture of the team. The Ravens just signed or said they were going to sign Maxx Crosby, who, yeah, if you had, oh wait, you don't you don't care about him anymore.
No,
because,
but you should still though.
but apparently they don't, and
Well,
that's
they already
on
traded
them.
him away.
And
so.
same thing for the Chargers. Like, you think you can go get bigger and better and badder, then
But they
go
haven't.
ahead. That's my point.
But they would rather lose Owe and not go sign. I mean, they re-signed Khalil Mack, who's 35 years old, instead of Owe, who's much younger.
Yeah.
They said we would rather pay Khalil Mack, who's declining, who's older, than go pay a guy $25 million a year, which if you are an up-and-coming edge rusher at 27 years old, and they truly believe that, you are worth so much more than $25 million a year.
Sure.
So much more. And the Chargers said, no, we don't see it.
Well, then why is it bad for the Commanders to go grab him and see what they have in him?
Because other teams have already seen and they're saying no, and they're better teams than the Commanders.
Okay. I'm going to make a bet on this.
I believe the Ravens and the Chargers coaches more than the Commanders coaches.
Okay.
Especially when they haven't even got to see him and they're just paying him for no reason.
Well, we're going to write up a bet
Okay.
for his production this year.
Well, how many
or
sacks
how he
does
does.
he need? 8?
I need to do some research.
He's
okay?
already gotten 10 before in a year, so I feel like it should be 10, but
I need to do some research.
and it's not all about sacks. Also,
No, it's
quarterback
not. Because to me,
pressure rate and-
pressure, exactly. There's
can-
other stat lines.
and Owe's not great at those.
How is Owe versus TJ Watt?
Very bad. Overall in their careers, you don't want to compare
No,
those.
not careers last year.
I was saying last year I didn't want the Steelers to pay TJ Watt.
I'm just saying.
I was on record saying I do not want the Steelers to pay TJ Watt.
Okay.
He's
Well, then I want you to have that same sass.
the Steelers
when we talk about
are
TJ Watt.
so loyal that they had to give him the contract. No, I wish TJ Watt wasn't on the team anymore. I love him. I knew he was not going to be worth that contract. He was falling off. He
Do you
was
want
not.
Max Crosby?
No, I don't. All right. We still have our 2-minute warning. We are ending today's show before we beat each other up. But we do actually agree on this topic. So we are going to pick the same team. We're
Which
going to
again
discuss
feels
it.
silly and timely, but
Yeah. And it's which team has improved the most after the first 2 days of free agency. And we're going to agree and not fight.
it's the Raiders.
Well, there she goes. She gave it away.
2-minute warning.
All right. Which team, Nycole, are we going with? Because we agreed on this team.
We did.
Has improved the most after the first 2 days of free agency. Now, we just got breaking news on this team, but I still think actually this could help our case even more.
Yeah, I agree. It is the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, they have spent the most amount of money, so maybe this is easy, but
Sure.
and we are kind of hating on their signing of Tyler Linderbaum with how much money they spent. But do I think Tyler Linderbaum will make them a better team? Yes.
100%.
Absolutely. He's made the Pro Bowl in each of the last 3 seasons, and I know people will make fun of the Pro Bowl. Absolutely, you should. But as long as you're not a quarterback, I mean, getting selected to the Pro Bowl is much harder than being a quarterback or a tight end or a wide receiver or something like that.
Mhm.
So Tyler Linderbaum, really good center. They added Kwity Paye, who I think is equivalent of Odafe Owe in terms of abilities and what they can do as a pass rusher in their age. They signed him to a 3-year, $48 million deal. Much, much cheaper. He has 30.5 sacks in 5 seasons with the Colts. They added both Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean
Yes.
and middle linebacker. That is huge. Quay Walker led the Packers in tackles this last year, career high 128. Quay Walker's a good signing, a nice deal too. Nakobe Dean, love him. I love his pass rush ability as well in terms of the coverage, but he had a 92.3 PFF pass rush grade this past year that ranked 3rd among 88 qualified inside linebackers.
Mhm.
They got him for a nice deal. Then they had Jalen Naylor. I don't really care about that. They need to fix their wide receivers for sure.
100%.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Eric Stokes, they kept at corner. And then Malcolm Kuntz, they kept at edge rusher. I think those are fine. They're both cheap deals. I think with Clint Kubiak, right? And them having the number 1 overall pick, and we're expecting it to be Fernando Mendoza at quarterback, and them getting back Colton Miller and Jackson Powers Johnson, and then adding in Tyler Linderbaum and all these other pieces. So far, obviously, like Raiders have to get better. They were
Right. They were
the worst
trash.
team in the league.
Right.
But like I truly think over this time, even over these last 2 days, they significantly got better in the roster.
Well, and they they made the right moves. I think that's the difference too, is there's some teams that I won't name right now, but I'm very frustrated with, because I'm like, I don't understand why you're getting a safety. I understand the safety is very, very good, but I don't get it. We need offensive linemen. So I'm just probably freaking out also. But, I think they've made the right moves. I think they're giving Ashton Genty what he needs to be successful after a disappointing first season. And I'm excited to see what they do with it all. Now, will it all combust because it's way too much, change and new? Maybe, or maybe it won't. And it'll be really, really good for them. We will see what happens with the Maxx Crosby thing. I am sure someone else will grab him, probably on that same contract. But we'll have to wait and see for that.
Or the Raiders can say, we're happy with the moves we made. Let's restructure this contract to fit with our cap space and bring back Maxx Crosby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad thing to keep him.
Right.
Like,
if he wants to stay.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than keeping a guy that doesn't want to be there.
Well, and what was nice was that his video said, like, I was planning on finishing my career here, but now I'm a Raven. This is what's happening. So I don't think he had any hard feelings towards the Ravens.
Right.
Or towards the Raiders at all.
He probably will have some bad feelings towards the Ravens now.
So maybe he'll be back, and that would be absolutely huge for the Raiders, or maybe they'll still trade him and we'll figure out what else they get from that trade. But now we know what the cost is. They're not going to trade him for less, or much less. So,
yeah, very true.
Very true. All right. So much has happened in this NFL world. So much more will happen before we talk to you next week, but we will cover all of that happens next Wednesday. We hope you all have a great week. We're going to Houston Rodeo this weekend to go see my girl, Kelly Clarkson.
I'm mildly embarrassed and mildly excited. I've never seen her in concert.
Why are you embarrassed?
I don't know. It just feels like we're going to the rodeo to see Kelly Clarkson. Like, I mean, I'm sure she'll do some country covers. It just feels like
she's the best thing the rodeo's gotten in 10 years.
Oh my God. You couldn't tell me two people that the rodeo had in 10 years.
Lainey Wilson and Lizzo. She just performed. And last year,
that
Reba
was
McEntire.
This year. That doesn't count.
Reba McEntire. Okay. Luke Bryan, I'm sure.
Oh my God, every year.
All right. Yeah, we both are not the biggest fans. All right. Anyways, enjoy your weekend while I am crying to Kelly Clarkson. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.